Factories are spinning out a sterile line, so fine, locking up the music to a strict computer time. But down in tiny bedroom rooms across the distant maps, two sets of ears are looking for the hidden human gaps. They let the needle drag along the scratches on the plate, embracing every dusty hiss that made the rhythm late. We find a warm embrace inside the gray, where all the broken patterns learn to play. The dirt is where the timeless spirit breathes. A shelter built from scratchy old school sleeves. They fought the clean machine and threw away the iron cage, leaving tape distortion running raw across the page. Because our human steps are never walking perfectly straight, we stagger through our memories and linger by the gate. They stitched a fuzzy blanket out of sloppy bass and loop, a declaration written down in warm and perfect tones, a quiet home for everyone who wanders all alone. They prove the flaws are where the healing starts. Perfectly imperfect, just let the record skip, fade out. A quiet sorrow falls when city lights go down, leaving a heavy silence all across the town. Two geniuses were creating art at the very peak, but sudden shadows came to steal the words they speak. One lost his fragile breath beneath a western sky, one met a sudden highway end without a last goodbye. We never really say goodbye. The rhythm keeps on breathing through the sky. The flesh may turn to dust beneath the cold, wet stone, but music has a spirit that can't be left alone. Whenever lonely souls are spinning tracks to clear their head, the presence of the makers rises up from the dead. They cross the borders of the map to heal a breaking heart.
stars never fade. The loop plays forever.
Smell of medicine mixed with old crate dust. A small silver machine that the hand still trusts. Propped up on pillows in a cold white room, chopping up sweet soul to beat the sudden gloom. Swollen fingers aching heavy on the small gray paths, reversing old memories that their parents had. We go on before the morning tide, but the spirit stays inside the ride, slicing up the sweetest part of the past. Hold on fast, a beautiful goodbye made to last. The body is fading under the heavy white sheet, but the soul is racing to finish up the final beat. Chop the vocals short, make the horn lines cry. The clock on the wall says there's no time to say goodbye. Three days on the shelf before the spirit takes flight. A raw masterpiece left on a bedroom floor, a sacred manual for the kids knocking at the door. They showed us how to bleed right into the tape. We go on before the morning tide, but the spirit stays inside the rhyme, slicing up the sweetest part of the past. Just one more donut. The loop never ends. Snowdrifts slow down the brick walls of Detroit. A humming MPC 3000 warms up the cold, empty room. 12 bits of raw dust dancing in the dark, while across the cold Pacific water, Tokyo rain falls down. The velvet needle drops on a sweet, forgotten jazz spin. They never spoke a word, split by the deep blue sea, but their hearts beat the same grid, breaking the radio mold. We found a hole in the static lines, cutting up the pain to heal the mind. Two distant souls encoding the same sound, building up a world from the cradles on. shouting for the glitz and the green, but they just kept on chopping up the loops in between. Unquantized heartbeats sliding past the metronome bars, fingers on the pads looking up at different stars. Imperfect cuts made a perfect escape. A bedroom sanctuary tape on a cassette shape. They left the blueprint deep inside the hiss. A sanctuary born from a quiet night like this. Just let the record smile. Midnight in Detroit, basement light is growing dim. Down in Tokyo, rain is falling on the rim. Two different rooms born on the exact same day, finding old jazz records that their parents used to play. Slicing up the vinyl just to hear the spirit speak. Looking for a shelter where the heavy hearts can meet. We don't need a perfect design. Let the rhythm drag behind the line. Find the truth inside a broken groove. That's the honest beat that makes the spirit move. They turned off the quantized, broke the cold digital cage, letting drum pads lag, writing humans on the page. A deliberate mistake like a footstep in the snow. Melancholy piano loops making time move slow. They fought the clean machine just to let the music bleed. Two souls left too soon, but they left the cage undone. Now a million bedroom producers beat as one. They showed us how to heal inside the dust. Truth inside a broken groove. That's the honest beat that makes the spirit move. Beautifully flawed. Tape rolling. takes the room, leaving a space that feels too wide under the moon. Two stars were shining bright at the peak of what they made, but shadows took their breath and forced the light to fade. One lost the battle in a hospital bed out west. One met a sudden highway end and found his final rest. We never really say goodbye. The rhythm keeps on breathing through the sky, an architect of peace inside a restless night, a hip-hop heart that keeps the darkness bright. Flesh may turn to dust beneath the cold, wet ground, but music has a soul that simply can't be bound. Whenever lonely kids are spinning tracks to ease their head, the spirits of the giants rise up from the dead. They cross the borders of the map to heal a breaking heart. Stars never fade. The loop plays forever. Late night hours when the city falls asleep, leaving a silence that is way too deep. And 1,000 bedrooms glow of laptop screens appear. Lonely kids are typing, trying to escape the fear, chasing the legacy of prophets who have gone, copying the sloppy drums until the early dawn. We find a sanctuary in sound, spinning the world until the peace is found. Daisies of tape to wash the have I night. A digital radio keeping everything alive.
shouting with a cold mechanical roar, but loops of piano guard the bedroom door. A deliberate mistake in the rhythm makes it real, stitching up the fractures that the lonely souls can feel. Strangers in a live chat waving from a distant space. Two masters passed away but left a hidden key, a shelter built in static for the whole community, transforming sorrow into a protective space. We find a sanctuary in the sound, spinning the world until the peace is found. Deserts of tape to wash the hair by night. You are not alone. Just let the beat play on. Fade
A poet stood between two different worlds across the sea, listening to the bold Detroit beat shaking up the tree. In Tokyo, a quiet soul was nodding to the groove, dreaming of a grand design to make the nations move. A blueprint for a track to melt the borders of the mind. Across Atlantic handshake they were hoping to align. Weep-a-ooey, a bridge that we can never cross, counting up the hours and the heavy cost. The music flows into the sweet eternity, a melody that waits for you and me. Then winter 2006 brought down the sudden night. The architect of rhythm had to leave this mortal life. A heavy grief poured down into the melancholy key, writing tribute songs that floated on the ocean breeze. 4 years of sorrow passed before a midnight highway toll took the lonely piano man and joined them soul to soul. The collaboration never happened on this earthly ground, but some things are too sacred for a simple plastic sound. The tape was left unspooled upon the bedroom floor. Weep-weep-ooey, a bridge that we can never cross, flows into the sweet eternity. So free. The bridge is finished now. Now, in the infinite loop, fade out.
Behind the counter of the record store, hiding away, sorting through the dusty sleeves of yesterday. The neon lights of Shibuya bleed right through the glass. People screaming in the streets, moving way too fast. He wears his headphones like a shield against the heavy noise, finding sanctuary in a silent, static choice. Like rain at night, we fall so slow, chasing the past where the old jazz streams flow, finding the peace inside a hidden place, a quiet soul in an endless bag and chase. The shutters close, the midnight oil begins to ignite, merging Tokyo's keys with American beats tonight. Another quiet piano loop, a dusty street cadence combined, leaving the loud commercial world so far behind. An introverted heart weaving loops to heal the mind. He never wanted fame, just a space where he could breathe. But millions found a home in the patterns he would weave. A soundtrack for the midnight watch, the students staying late. Like rain at night, we fall so slow, chasing the past where the old jazz streams flow, finding the peace inside a hidden place. Let the static play. The rain never washes the loop away. Antiseptic air inside a white room in LA. Stacks of dusty vinyl records piled along the way. On the bed, a fragile body fighting through the deep. But a sacred little sampler wakes the room from sleep. Swollen fingers pressing hard against the rubber pad. bleeding honest rhythm out of sorrow that they had. We are fading out before the morning sun, but the tireless loop has only just begun, slicing up the sweetness of a dying day, leaving something real that time can't take away.
The clock is running backward on the faded hospital wall, chucking vocal samples just to answer to the call. Chop the soul loop tighter while the monitor goes slow. Every painful tap becomes a spark to make it glow. 3 short days of breathing when the record hit the store.
A final raw devotion written down in plastic keys, a manual for bedroom artists building up their dreams. The flesh may fall to pieces, but the spirit will escape. We are fading out before the morning sun, but the tireless loop has only just begun, slicing up the sweetness of a dying day. Don't go away. One last beat. The circle never breaks.